Okay, I tried going live on my Facebook twice and I just do not have good enough service today to do that for whatever reason. Probably because it's so beautiful today. Look at all the clouds. Look how gorgeous. It's only like 73 degrees is the high today. It's like 65 right now in Northern California. And it's just amazing because we've been dealing with a summer that's been over 100 degrees most of the summer. So it's glorious today. But I think that might be why I have such terrible cell phone service. One of our projects that Edwin and I are working on right now is researching how to get Wi-Fi at our barn. So that would be nice. So fingers crossed that works out so I can go live more often from the barn and actually be able to talk with you, because I prefer going live. That way I can have conversations with people rather than just looking at my phone talking to myself, which is kind of weird, and sometimes I feel like I run out of things to say. So anyway, okay, so let me take you into the barn, and I'm going to be talking about heat mats versus heat lamps today. So I had posted a picture yesterday on my Facebook page showing piglets on a red heat mat instead of under a heat lamp, and somebody had asked me how we like the mats. Well, this is our first time, our first farrowing season using Kane heat mats. They're from Kane Manufacturing. You can buy them directly from Kane off their website, kanemfg.com, I think it is, something like that. You can Google it. You can also buy them, I think, one of the animal websites sells them. QC Supply sells them, and I think it's Valley Vet Supply that sells them. So you can go there and buy them too. Let me show you. Oh dang, I can't turn my video around. I guess that's just gonna have to be how it is. Let me show you. Climb into this pen here. So I have a pen here. This is USA Ginger. She's in here with her babies. And then we have a piglet creep here. So there is Ginger. And then here is the piglet creep. I'll do a better video of our farrowing pen setup later. But in this creep, we have this red mat. And this is called a Kane heat mat. I'm gonna try to sit here, scare them away. They're thinking about eating, so. And we historically have used the Premier One heat lamps, called the Premier One Prima heat lamps. And we really like those, and I'll show those to you. But what we're running into is that the heat lamps take a lot of, and this is where my knowledge kind of ends, unfortunately, is at wattage. So we're running a generator right now for our electricity at the barn. We're still trying to get our PG&E power hooked up. But even once our PG&E is hooked up, it's very expensive. Electricity, you guys know, is ridiculously expensive. And running a bunch of heat lamps, I have 12 farrowing pens in my barn right now. Running 12 heat lamps is going to cost a lot of money. And I simply can't run that many on my generator right now. My generator's not that big. So at 250 watts, that takes up a lot of electricity. Now the Kane heat mats, one of the benefits is that they only take up 11 watts. So I can run a lot of Kane heat mats for every one heat lamp. So these things are hard plastic. They're made of polyethylene, and they are made for livestock. You can buy them for dogs, you can buy them for cats, you can buy them for livestock. In the livestock section on our website, they have a hog section. And what's great about these is they are waterproof, so they can get pee and poop and whatever else on them. And you can just wipe them off or hose them off, and then use your disinfectant to disinfect them between litters. They have little holes so you can bolt them down to your floor if you want to. Our piglets are little, so we haven't had an issue with them moving them. So we'll kind of just have to wait and see if that becomes an issue. They have the non-slip like traction pattern on the plastic. They're raised up off the ground, so if you're, like our barn floors are concrete, if they get wet or whatever, then this is raised up off the ground. Plus, it's got this thick layer, so the chill from the concrete doesn't come through the heat mat. And the heat, vice versa, doesn't go into the concrete. Like they've planned for that when they make these Kane heat mats. So that's really nice. The way that these heat is if you buy them without a thermostat like we did, you just plug it in and it runs. It runs at 37 degrees Fahrenheit above ambient temperature. So that's the temperature that it runs at. You can also buy them with a thermostat on them so that you can choose what temperature they run to. We didn't do that because that was double the cost, and this was a brand new kind of trial for us. So we weren't sure if we really wanted that thermostat or not. What we're thinking now after using these for a couple of weeks is that instead of buying an individual thermostat for each one and doubling the cost of the mat, we're actually looking into what kind of thermostat system we can buy for the barn so that all the heat mats run on one thermostat, which would be really nice instead of having to go and adjust every single one, just adjust one for the whole barn. Because again, like I said, I have 12 pens for farrowing in this barn right now. So that's where we're at with that. The piglets seem to really like them. We train them to them in the first 24 hours. Whenever they're not nursing, we put them back on the mat, but that's another video. I don't want this one to get too long. And what this also does is it also discourages piglet piling. So we've been reading a lot of commercial hog journals. You know how the piglets get in these really cute piles? That's actually not a good thing, because if a weaker piglet gets on the bottom, they can actually suffocate, and it's just not good, right? You want to decrease your losses, not increase your losses. So the mat is big and it's warm when they're on it. So when my hand's up here, I can't feel the heat off the mat, obviously. I have to be on it to feel it. So that encourages the piglets to lay directly on the mat versus piling on top of each other. So that's something we're watching too to see if that's actually the case. The way that this works, it's just a plug, and obviously it has a cord protector on it. Right now the piglets are little, so we're not having to deal with any chewing issues. Plus this mat is inside the creep, so the sow can't get to it. What we intend to do, I think, is take some PVC pipe to put over top of this and then just kind of run it back and attach it to the wall. That way the cord is completely protected once the piglets are bigger, because I would bet that once these guys get bigger, they'll start chewing on it, because you know how pigs chew on things and they get bored real easily, and they like to do that, little punks. So that is the Kane heat mat. Now let me show you the heat lamp that we use. So we have 2 Kane heat mats that we tried out. We really like them. We're gonna order more. I think that's just what we're gonna use for our pens inside the barn. For a heat lamp, this is what we're using. It's really dirty, sorry. This is a Premier One Prima heat lamp. Supposedly it's the safest heat lamp on the market because it reduces fire risk from having this really thick plastic shell that doesn't get super hot. It's like, this has been on for, 12 hours and I can put my hand on it, doesn't burn me. Okay, it also has this plastic grate on the bottom, and then there's the heat lamp inside. And you see my hand's on it. It's not gonna burn me. It's warm, but it's not gonna burn me. And then it has the plastic hanger, and we hang it from a metal chain. Do not, of course, never hang heat lamps from the cord. No pressure should be on the cord ever, 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 ever. Heat lamps are a fire danger, so you have to be really careful with them. And we also keep it away from the bedding. The bedding is not getting hot, because that's another way that you start fires. So you have a nice space between. And then we just have these on a chain so we can raise and lower them depending on temperature outside and how old the piglets are, because eventually they won't need so much heat, so we just raise it up. So that is kind of, there's the creep, there's the heat lamp. So that was a heat lamp that we've been using for years. It's the only heat lamp we use. We do not use the cheap Tractor Supply heat lamps because, like I said, heat lamps are dangerous. You have to be really careful. You don't want to lose your barn and your animals in a fire. So take really good care with that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons we really, really like the heat mats. There is a warning on the heat mats that says, do not put anything on them. They can't have hay or straw or wood shavings or anything on them. So we go in and sweep them off if stuff gets on them and all of that. So just to be safe. Yeah, that's what I know. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will respond there, since this isn't a live video and I can't respond to you now. So I think that's all I have. Anything else, Ellie, about heat mats and heat lamps? She's like, I don't know. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. I don't know. Okay, well. Oh, we'll do the pens and the water systems later. That'll be another video. That's a lot of information. I know somebody's gonna ask me this, so I'll see if I can answer it now. They're gonna say, why are you using heat lamps? You're in California, it's hot, you don't need to use heat lamps. That's totally a matter of what you decide you wanna do with your pigs. We find that our pigs do better, grow better, and we have a lower mortality rate when we provide heat. We do know that piglets cannot regulate their body temperature for the first 3 days, and they need at least 90-degree temperatures for the first 3 days of life. So, you know, it's dropping down into the high 50s, low 60s at night here, so they definitely need heat for that. And we just prefer to keep heat on them, give them the option, and they grow better, and they're happier, and they're healthier. And it keeps them away from who?
The mamas.
The mama, so
to not squish them.
Yeah.
Because they like the heat too.
Yes, so the piglets go into the creep, the heat entices them there, so they sleep there when they're not nursing to decrease our crushing, because we don't like it when that happens. We don't like to lose piglets. So we just give the piglets every opportunity possible to stay alive and to grow and be happy and healthy, Yep, that's what we do. All right, you want to say bye? Bye.
We have a little tiny piglet.
Oh yes, we'll talk about little tiny piglet later. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll respond to you there. Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.